Hi, I'm Kelly Percival.
And this is Emma Fain.
And we're going to be talking about orthophosphate testing.
The reason why we want to test for orthophosphate is because it is the most biologically available and most biologically active phosphate in the water column. Therefore, by testing for it, it gives us a snapshot of what is available at that time, potentially.
This is a colorimeter that's distributed by Hanna Instruments, and it measures the orthophosphate in the system using a one reagent test. You can use a secondary reagent test to convert total phosphate into orthophosphate by the addition of bisulfuric acid. However, at this point, I'm only testing for orthophosphate because I only want to know what's biologically available at this moment. This colorimeter has a range of 0 to 2.5 parts per million, which is a relatively low range of phosphate in the system. The resolution is 0.01 parts per million, and the accuracy is plus or minus 0.04 parts per million, or 4% of the reading. Cattails are often an indicator of eutrophication in a system, which would mean there would be higher nitrogen and phosphate concentrations. When looking for a representative sample, you want to make sure that you stay away from dead, dying, and decaying vegetation or accumulated trash. This decaying torpedo grass and filamentous algae would not make a good place for a sample. Oh, but wait, I think Emma's found a site.
I have found a representative sample because there is less vegetation. I don't see any surface algae. I am now going to sample, but before I do, I need to consider the safety hazards. So, this is a pond or lake. So that means that there could be alligators nearby. I'm going to be bending down. I might look like a chihuahua. Also, there may be fire ants. I need to be careful of where I stand. And the sun's kind of bright. It's past 10 a.m. now, I think. And we need to apply sunblock to protect our skin. Okay. So before I sample right now, I want to address the fact that sometimes it's advisable to rinse out your bottle with sample water away from where you're going to take your real sample. I've done that. I'm ready to go ahead and take a sample. So when I go in, I'm going to go down. I'm going to tilt it horizontally so that it doesn't fill too quickly. And then I'll want to eventually leave headspace.
The orthophosphate in our sample will interact with the reagent, causing a color change, which will then be read by the colorimeter. This is an indicator of the color changes and their approximate parts per million concentration of orthophosphate. 2 10 milliliter sample vials are included with the kit, one for calibration and one for experimental groups. The bottles should each be rinsed with nitric acid to ensure decontamination, then rinsed with ionized water, and then rinsed with some of the sample. The sample was filled to the 10 milliliter line with a sterile pipette, and then I'm going to move the phosphate reagent into the sample by using a funnel. I've cut off the tip of the funnel so that it doesn't get wet, and it makes the transfer of the powder reagent easier. However, due to the humidity right now, today, the sample is sticking to the funnel, so I'm going to use my sterile pipette to wash the solution into my sample container. And shake vigorously for between 60 and 90 seconds. At that time, while I'm shaking, I'm going to insert my calibration vial into my colorimeter, and I'm going to calibrate, and now it says it's ready for my sample. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to then insert my sample. I can hold down the button until it starts a 3-minute timer, and it's going to go ahead and give me my results in 3 minutes. As you can see, this area has a low orthophosphate concentration. At 0.02, I would be concerned to use this measurement, I'd probably repeat the measurement 2 times. If you remember, this has a 0.04 plus or minus accuracy, and so I'd want to make sure that I would probably report this as 0 or close to 0.
Due to the low concentration of orthophosphate, we are going to go ahead and take the sample, preserve it with 2 milliliters of sulfuric acid, and refrigerate at 4 degrees Celsius to check for possible interferences such as arsenate and iron.
Thank you for watching this presentation on how to test for orthophosphate.
We hope that you found it useful.